Senator Tillis.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you all for what you do. The one question I have, and it may be one that each of you may have a comment on. In North Carolina, I was speaker down there before I came up here in January, and we did a lot of work at the state level on homelessness. We got a CDBG grant to actually start taking a facility, a health facility, and converting it to a 150-bed homeless vets transitional facility. It was a bit of a pain to get through, though. It was one of these obvious great uses for the resources. We had a willing state agency. It took us about a year and a half, almost 2 years, to get to the point to where we're finally at implementing it, and it should go online fairly quickly. What more do we need to do for communities that are forward-thinking, they want to help, VSOs, what more do we need to do to remove the barriers that would have caused that process to take so long?
I would be happy to take that. Senator Tillis, thank you for that insightful question. We were at a conference with 1,800 homeless advocates and service providers, and one of the things that's just so clear to me, this work isn't for the faint of heart, and the bureaucracy of doing the right thing is incredibly hard. Oftentimes, when you're creating more supportive housing options, you're trying to figure out how to weave together 13 different funding streams and tax credits. And they all work on their own cycles. It's one of the reasons that we think that the home program is so important for the creation of more affordable housing and supportive housing. As you know, in the Senate mark right now, there's a 93% cut to the home program, and it's the best engine that we have to create more affordable housing, and it's an incredibly flexible funding tool that local communities control so that they can use it to gap fill when they're trying to put together the financing for supportive housing or for affordable housing. So I think what we hear from communities all the time is that the local control and the flexibility associated with the home program, as well as the fact that it is specifically dedicated to the creation of more affordable housing opportunities, that is a really important tool to have.
Well, something I'd like to see from you, and I was going to ask the other panelists too, is if you could go back and identify things that that we should rethink. They could be constraints that we placed on you, or that you may have placed on yourself, or the interaction with other agencies that we need to look at modernizing and streamlining so that we can get a faster rate of solutions to the homelessness problem. And I, for one, would like to help. I'd also like to spend some time talking more about the best practices that are out there. I, for one, Senator Sullivan's from a very large state with a very large dispersed rural population. I'm in a state that's 50% urban, 50% rural. We need different solutions to those challenges. And I'm very interested in hearing about a kind of national plan and prioritization. If you would like, any of you would like to speak on that.
Thank you, Senator. I think this is an issue as well that we've been struggling with. And I would say that if we were to look forward 5 years from now in terms of what are the population groups and what are the dynamics that we need to be prepared for, there are 4 subpopulations of veterans at risk for becoming homeless who are homeless that we really need to be concentrating our efforts to. Homeless women, because of the increasing ranks of active duty who are going to be separated from service. Those men and women who served in Iraq and Afghanistan, part of the OEF, OIF era, and the return and separation for service and the risks that they have. We have an increasingly aging and frail population of homeless and formerly homeless who have had an accelerated aging process and accelerated needs and complexity of needs. And we also have those veterans that cycle through. When we start layering into that dynamic, urban homelessness is very different than rural homelessness, and we have to have that consideration and understanding and appreciation as well. And we also need to be looking at our programs really not as standalone, but representing a continuum that can be flexible and responsive to where the veteran is and what those needs are. This is a process that we've been engaging in, and I think would welcome a very active role and engagement with you and others, and really trying to map out that strategic thinking over the next 5 years.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr.